Hello, I'm Jonathan Hodgetts, founder and owner of Wessex Tubas, and welcome to our video today.
And I'm Will Druiett, the principal professional artist of Wessex Tubas.
Today we have our premium C tuba, the TC695HP Chicago-York. This is a 6/4 C tuba of classic American design, based on what will be very familiar to all American watchers, York C tuba. It's very close to the dimensions of what's played in the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and Will in the past has actually done a play back-to-back of this tuba against the original York. The Wessex Chicago-York is fully handmade. It was the very first tuba that Wessex made fully handmade, which means it's made of sheet brass, where most tubas are made hydraulically in moulds. This is made from sheet brass, hammered out round a mandrel to make the shape, and it's fully handmade by one craftsman, makes the whole tuba, and it maybe takes them a whole month to make one tuba, so it's a real piece of craftsmanship. I might say it's not just craftsmen, it's craftswomen as well, because some of our workers making these tubas are women. We have some footage of hammering out bells. I don't think it's a York bell, but it shows you the technique of how they are made by hand. The advantage of it being handmade from sheet brass is the brass can be a lot thinner. Where it's made in a mandrel, it's got to be thick enough metal so that when it's stretched around in the mould, it's still of reasonable thickness at the thinnest point. Where when it's made from sheet brass, it can be a much thinner metal. So where our normal tubas are 0.8 millimeters thick, this is only 0.6 millimeters thick, which also makes it very lightweight to carry around and handle, and it increases the resonance. It increases the resonance of the bell as well. It makes the tuba easier to play, to produce a tone, and makes a bigger sound for the amount of work that goes into it.
It's much more resonant, much more resonant. And for some people that I've met, and also I've seen online, who say that the instruments made of the thinner brass aren't so good, or, you know, it's not necessarily a premium thing, let's say, to them I would say they're not actually so well informed, because for example, an instrument that I had access to 2 years ago for some time, the thickness, or rather the thinness of this very old instrument was 0.1 millimeters, which is, that's thin, let me tell you.
Like paper thin.
That's seriously thin. Like you know it's thin if you can take the bell and push it like this and the entire instrument moves. Then you know it's thin. So this it's not that thin. And the tone of the instrument that was 0.1 millimeters thin was absolutely incredible. When you went to play the note, as soon as you touched the note, it spoke, and the sound, it was magic, absolute magic. And this is how the instruments in the past, this is how they were made, by real craftsmen and craftswomen. It's a real skill to make these instruments and to hand hammer a bell with such thin metal. And similarly, in the same vein, these instruments and the new hand-hammered, handmade instruments from the German brass will be made with this tradition in mind. And this really is the difference between a good instrument and a great instrument. One piece of advice I would have for people who are afraid of an instrument that is much thinner than they're used to in the material is that it's really common practice in Europe to not put the tuba on the bell. The tuba goes on the stand. The bell does not touch the floor. Exactly, exactly.
The thinness enhances the tone, and on the latest manufactured versions of this tuba, we are now using German brass as well to improve that sound still further. The difference is the German brass. Brass is a composite of different materials, zinc and copper, and can be some various other metals as well. The composition does vary a little bit from country to country. So the latest ones of these were making of German brass, which is a particularly hard sort of brass. So you've got the thinness with the strength as well.
And also it's strengthened through the hand hammering process. You've got everything here All of the slides you need are here, and some people, when they're playing a York-style C-tuba, they really like to move as many slides as possible. If you want to do that, you can.
And we make this very easy moving on the first valve slide.
Yeah.
And there's even the string there, so you can't pull it out too far and it falls out. I know some players do like to adjust the slide while they're playing, so we've catered for that and made it specifically so that can be done.
However, in my experience using this in the orchestra, you don't actually need to move the slides so much as earlier replicas of the York that I've used. For me, I mean, of course you have to adjust the first now and again, maybe the third, occasionally the fourth, but it's not like every single note you play something has to move and all of this. I mean, this can be a little bit too much sometimes. And also, I mean, you've got the super nice action here with the fifth. Very nice. Nice big pistons.
Nice big buttons so that your fingers are not going to slip off. And we've got the Wyvern engraving on the buttons. Nice textured finish to hold on to. It's a very easy tuba to hold and play.
Yeah.
It's so easy that even Will can play it.
We shall see. Hello everyone, it's me again, and I'm back in the Wessex Warehouse of Dreams with the great Wessex Chicago-York. And as I've mentioned before, this might not be the most beautiful place, but it's the best acoustic we have in the building.
We make this tuba in two different versions. This has got the 20-inch bell on the Chicago-York, the 695. We also do a 694 with an 18-inch bell, a slightly smaller bell, which no other company does. In both, I think, Will's opinion and mine, the 694 plays even better still.
Yeah.
With the smaller bell. It's just got more projection and more character to the sound.
It's like the best of both worlds of a Kaiser tuba and this kind of tuba put together. And for me, the Chicago presence is really special. And it's something that other manufacturers, nobody imagined, oh, let's make the bell a little bit smaller.
I would say this tuba is for the player in a big concert band or playing in a symphony orchestra. These tubas were designed originally as a tuba which have as broad a tone as a sousaphone. So the idea is this puts a real foundation under the band. If you're playing in a big concert band, this will be a really great tuba to play, and if you get a job in a big symphony orchestra. Do check our page on the website and the link below if you want to find more details about this tuba. Do leave in the comments how you like the sound of this tuba, and also let us know from where you've come from. We'd love to know where you are and what you're interested in.
Thanks so much for watching.